Have you ever tried cooking with a Skottle? Hi everybody, I'm Rob, and this is Overland. We talk about going on adventures, road tripping, camping, just generally getting out and enjoying life. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about the Skottle. Nothing has gone so fast from like almost Overland icon to Overland meme, I think, as fast as the Skottle. It is not perfect by any means. They're very expensive, but I love mine. And we're going to talk about why and some of the reasons, what you can do with it, all that fun stuff. I'm out by the end of a runway, so hopefully there's airplanes flying over. Hopefully they're not too loud and the mic's not picking it up. But if there are, hey, it's sounds of freedom. Just deal with it. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and start with talking about the Skottle itself. So this is one of the original Skottles from Tembo Tusk. It's not the newer, more advanced ones. It does not have the adjustable legs. But overall, if you're not familiar with what a Skottle is, it's kind of a very shallow walk. It's made out of carbon steel. It's got one burner underneath, 3 legs. That's kind of it. It's a really simple thing. It's a little heavy. It's a little bulky, but what's neat about it, even this old one, like I said, the new ones have adjustable legs. This one, it's not a huge deal. If the ground's not level, you can find a rock to stick under one of the legs. You can kind of dig a little bit of a hole for one of the legs to kind of even it out. If you are used to cooking on cast iron at home, especially cleaning and taking care of cast iron, very similar setup. You just kind of season it, put some oil on it if you need to. Try to avoid soap. I know it's a very controversial thing when it comes to cast iron and carbon steel stuff, but I personally try to avoid soap. Just boil water in it to clean it. Worst case, throw a little salt on there and kind of rub it to kind of break stuff down. But like I said, overall, Skottle, super simple. They are set up for 1 pound propane bottles, the little green Coleman bottles. What I did switch to is I've got what are they called? The Ignic propane growler, that's what it is. I got one of the Ignic growlers, and they're a padded case with an adapter hose that screws into the 1 pound propane thing. That way I don't have to worry about the little bottles, and then I have plenty of propane for whatever cooking I want to do. All right, so there's nothing worse than a review video where someone's talking about a piece of gear and not actually using it. I realize this. I've seen them. I think I've made a few. So I figured, why not? If I'm going to come out here and talk about the Skottle, it's kind of on my lunch break, I'll fry some bacon up for a bacon sandwich real quick. That way, you don't need to see this in use. It's not, like I said, it's not that complicated, but hey, at least it gives me a little bit of extra credibility here. So let's just start with the downsides. There are definite downsides to a Skottle. It is not the be-all, end-all, most perfect cooking utensil. You can do a lot with it. You can actually do a lot more with it than I thought when I got it, but it's not perfect. You are limited to some things. You can't really put like a Coleman camping oven on here. I'm not really sure you can make an Amiya little oven work either. I love my Coleman camp oven. It doesn't work on here. If I'm going to use it, I have to bring my other stove. Boiling water for like coffee and stuff on here, kind of a hassle. Yeah, you can kind of put water in a cup and put it right in the middle and it'll sort of work. But it's very much a sort of work. It's not very efficient. If you really want to use a Skottle and you want to be able to make coffee and stuff too, and you've got a jet boil, Badak Adventure Company, I think that's what it is, they sell a little adapter that hooks to one of the legs that hook the jet boil up right next to it. So you can sit there and have a way to boil water real quick and easy while you're making stuff. That way, if you're doing eggs and bacon and sausage and stuff for like breakfast burritos, you can have coffee going too. So there's options for that. Other downsides, they're expensive. This is just my opinion. They're like twice what they should cost. To my opinion, I don't know what their manufacturing cost and all that stuff. I'm not saying they're overcharging for them. They're worth, I don't know if I bought this one used for what I consider a pretty good price. If something happened to this one today, I would not run out and buy a brand new one. I love this thing. I'm making a video about how much I love this thing, but I would not run out and replace it immediately. I would go out and keep an eye out for another used one try to find a good deal on a used one. probably try to look for one of the upgraded newer ones. Like I said, the newer ones have adjustable legs, which is nice but not necessary. The best part though about the newer ones, they have a burner that is more adjustable. It's got a little single propane camp burner under here. On the original ones like this one, they get really, really hot right in the middle, even on low. They stay pretty warm. Supposedly, the newer upgraded stove they use, which I could buy and add to this, and I've considered doing it. The newer stoves by Covia, apparently it's not nearly as hot on low, which is great because if you understand how Skottle works, it gets really hot right in the middle. And we're talking, when I say in the middle, I mean like that much of it. It's like less than your normal small skillet size. It's where it gets really, really hot. And then it gets progressively less hot towards the edges to the point that I've had this bacon going for a couple of minutes, and yeah, I can touch the outside edge, no problem. It's warm, but I can touch it. Which sounds like a downside, but it's kind of the whole magic of the Skottle. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll keep talking about the downsides real quick. The other downside is it's kind of bulky. It's sort of weird to pack up. The top, the actual, the Skottle itself and the burner go in one bag, and then you've got a whole other bag for the legs, and it's just kind of oddly shaped. Trying to get it packed in there is weird, and then you still got to worry about propane. So it's not the most convenient thing to carry around. My other primary camp stove is a big Camp Chef Rainier 2, I think, which is really nice because it's got a single burner and then a flat top griddle thing on the side. I like it, but it's really big and bulky too. It's bulky in a different way. It's still just a big rectangle as opposed to this being two odd shapes. So it's weird. Sometimes this is easier to pack, sometimes that's easier to pack. It really depends on what I'm doing and what I intend to cook on that trip, which one I end up taking. Like I said, this isn't perfect, and it can't cook everything, but I have done whole trips where this is all I took. Can't remember if it was no, it was the year before last when I went to Rendezvous in the Ozarks in 2023. This was all I took. I cooked all my meals on just this. I did plan it that way, but you know, one morning I made pancakes and bacon, and then I just had sandwich for lunch or something, and made tacos for dinner on here. Next morning, let's try to remember what I did. I probably did breakfast tacos or scrambled eggs or something. Eggs are really hard on here because, like I said, it gets really hot right in the middle. I mean, just look at this piece of bacon. I don't know how well you can tell. The top half is almost overdone, and the bottom part's not even done at all. You got to kind of watch your food on here, kind of keep flipping it sometimes. And the burner's on, I'm pretty sure, the lowest setting. Yeah, we're on the lowest setting. So this is another one of those downsides. You've got to learn to cook on it. You've got to kind of adjust to it. It's not super intuitive. Part of it's because the disc is so thin, it heats up really fast, and that middle gets super hot, which is great. If you're doing like burgers or steaks or something, you can sear them on the middle real quick, and then kind of scoot them out to the edges where it's not as hot. And like that's what I usually do if I'm making pancakes and bacon. I'll cook the bacon first, move that bacon up to the outside edge, then make pancakes in the middle. And if I need to do a couple more, or I made one pancake and I got to make the rest still, just scoot stuff to the edge. It'll keep it nice and warm without continuing to really cook it. Like, if I know it's gonna be sitting there for a minute, I may not cook it all the way right in the middle before I move it out to the edge. But the things you can cook on here is amazing. And that's pretty much all the downsides. That's all I can really think of. Let me just get you a nice little beauty shot of this bacon cooking, and then we'll start talking about some of the positives behind this. And I think there are some great positives. So here you go, just a quick little beauty shot, bacon frying. What would Fire and a Fork would call this gratuitous B-roll, but I'm not going to do the classical music in the background. Okay, so we talked about some of the downsides. It's a little bulky, it's a little expensive, very expensive. But let's talk about some of the good stuff about this thing. One, it's neat that you don't need a whole lot of utensils. All of a sudden, your camp stove is also your cooking. It's your cooking pot. It's your skillet. You don't need to take all that extra stuff. So while it's bulky, if you're trying to travel kind of light and fast, where you're just driving and camping and driving and camping and driving and camping, yeah, you can do backpacking meals and stuff like that. But if you want to at least cook something more substantial than just a backpacking meal and boil some water, you can pull this out real quick. Don't have to worry about pots and pans. If it's just, if you really want it, you can just eat right off this. You don't need plates or anything else. It's nice and simple, so that's always nice. The biggest thing for me, bacon. Let me get a little more bacon. I think us as overlanders, and I might catch some flack for this, I think us overlanders are way too serious sometimes. And we're way too concerned with finding the perfect setup or just the right thing, or we got to find the right gear, the next newest, greatest thing. And I think sometimes we forget that this is a hobby. And it's supposed to be fun. And that's my favorite thing about the Skottle, is it's fun. It's something different than at home. I mean, yeah, cooking over, a camp stove's cool and all, but it's too close to what I do at home when I just cook. Or even if it's cooking on, the smoker in the backyard or grilling, it's kind of the same thing. It's just using a camp stove. It's just a small little outdoor cooking thing. I don't have anything like this to cook at home. So it's already something different, something a little more fun. And it's kind of neat, like that when I went to Rendezvous and took just this. It's weird that by limiting my cooking options, what I was using to cook, I got more creative with my meal planning. Like, okay, well, what can I make? Or, what can I do to take just this? And, I'm like, okay, well, I'll make this, then I can make this with those leftovers, and I can cook it all on here. And it made me cook things that I probably wouldn't have normally cooked at camp. And finally, this is the biggest thing to me, the biggest benefit. It's fun because this is a lot more, or at least can be, a lot more social. Something about your traditional camp stove, you set it up, you've got your windscreen and all that, and you're facing the stove. So all your interactions are pretty much with the stove, unless you get distracted talking to people and start burning stuff. Or with this, I can set it up, and yes, you could do it through the camp stove if you were more intentional about it, but it's so easy to set this up and be talking to people while I'm cooking. And I can cook for myself on here and just have a great view of the lake, or I can have 5 or 6 people around and be making stir fry, or be making breakfast burritos or something like that. And I don't feel like I'm out of the conversation. I feel like I'm still in the circle with people talking. And then you can have for the breakfast burritos, have everything laid out here, have the tortillas out around the edge. It's a nice presentation. It's fun. People can come up and make their own thing, and everybody can sit there and chit chat and talk. And for me, I really only do 2 kinds of overland trips. Just the way my situation is. Either I'm out solo by myself, which is great. I need that sometimes. I need that time to kind of get in my own head. Or I'm out with a bunch of people, either with a big group here from Oklahoma, or I'm at one of the big events or something. If I'm at one of those things with people around, I'm there because I want to interact with the amazing people that are in the Overland community. This is a great way to do it, because then everybody gets fed, it's fun, I don't feel left out while I'm cooking, I don't feel like I'm missing something or missing on the story or missing an inside joke or something like that. So that really sums it up. I'm kind of wrap this video up so I can have my sandwich real quick before I gotta go back to work. Yes, downsides to the Skottle. Yes, they're kind of an overland meme at this point. They're overpriced, they're heavy, they're kind of weird to pack. But I think that it's greatly outweighed by the fact that you can make almost anything on here. Don't need to bring a bunch of other pots and pans and stuff like that. And just the fact that it's almost like cooking over the campfire, where everybody can be around. Everybody can be sitting around, enjoying their meal, interacting. And if you're going out with a bunch of people, that should kind of be your goal. Yeah, you want to go see cool things and you go on cool trails. But if you're going with people, that's because you want to be around them and interact with them. And in a weird way, this is a piece of gear that not only feeds you physically, but lets you interact with people and can feed you like socially. Getting a little deep here, but that's really all I've got for you. If you've never cooked on a Skottle, try it. I'm sure you know someone that's got one. They're out there. They're all over the place these days. I don't know a whole lot about the other alternatives. I think Arctic makes one. Go to any of the Overland events. You'll see 3 or 4 different versions of this. They're all kind of the same. I tend to like this one the best. The other one, some of them have like lips around them and stuff, and it just doesn't work for the way I want to use it. But give it a try. Or you know what? If you have never seen a Skottle or had a meal off a Skottle, and you're going to be at any of the Overland events in my part of the country, you know, if you're going to be at Overland of America, Rendezvous in the Ozarks, Big Iron Overland Rally, any of that kind of stuff, hit me up ahead of time. Let me know. Say, hey, I'm going to be there. And I'll be like, cool, swing by this night, and I'm going to have this cooking. Come by, grab some. Talking about events, this is like, we're pretty much done talking about the Skottle. This is just housekeeping stuff. I posted on Facebook the other day. I don't have an answer yet. But I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone. Most of y'all know that I've been teaching classes at Rendezvous in the Ozarks. I've been teaching classes at More Expo. Trying to expand what classes I teach as well, but that's a whole new thing. I swung for the fences and I applied to teach at Overland Expo Mountain West. Never actually been to one of the Overland Expos. Really want to, and figure teaching might be a great way to do it. Hopefully a slightly cheaper way to do it. When I hear something out, when I hear back from them, and hopefully that happens, you'll be the first to know. I will be posting it on the channel and all that fun stuff. I know I'm rambling, so let's just go ahead and wrap this up. If you're watching this on YouTube, just know we also release the audio as a podcast. You can find it wherever podcasts are found. Just search stormcrowoverland. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, either one of those, stormcrowoverland. You know how these things work. Finally, you can reach me on email, stormcrowoverland@gmail.com. I don't get a whole lot of email traffic, so I don't check it every day, but if I see a comment, I will do my best to reply. Or if you're watching on YouTube, just leave a reply. If you're listening to the podcast, the audio on the podcast, we also release the video on YouTube. And finally, if you're watching this on YouTube, give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, any of that kind of stuff. I greatly appreciate any kind of like, comment, follow, subscribe, any of that stuff. But yeah, if you've made it this far, leave a comment. Let me know. Do you think Skottles are awesome? Do you think they're overhyped? Is this like the meme product of overlanding? Let me know. Curious what you think. But I'm about to eat me a sandwich, so just remember, sometimes you have to go out and get lost and maybe make some fun food before you can find yourself. Thanks for watching, guys.